Can you actually get luxury clients off of YouTube? How about as a new real estate agent? What's up, y'all? I'm Rachel Haditzes with Epique Realty, and our organization, we celebrate our accomplishments because what gets celebrated gets replicated. For this video, I've asked my friend and EXP colleague, Lynnette Jaiswal out of San Diego, California, to tell us about her recent success not only from YouTube, but as a new real estate agent. And make sure to stick around to find out how she got over $8 million in gross sales under contract in 1 week. Welcome, Lynnette.
Hi, so happy to be here. Thank you so much for including me on your YouTube channel. I'm super pumped to share everything that I've experienced over the last few weeks.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's start off with discussing how long you've been an agent, as well as how did you come to incorporate YouTube as a business strategy?
So I actually, funny kind of story, I'll give you the short version of that. So I had some pretty horrific experiences myself with real estate agents when I was selling and purchasing a home. And at the end of all of that, I decided that I was going to never go through that horrible experience again. And I was going to get licensed. So I got licensed in October 2019, thinking I'm just going to do my own deals because my husband and I do invest in properties. And then I wasn't going to let anybody that I know or love go through what I went through. So I thought, I'm just going to do it on the side. But we all know you can't do real estate well if you're doing it as a part-time gig. So fast forward, and I got into a coaching program with Kristen Mayshore, which is how I met you, and I'm so excited. So fast forward about 6 months, right before COVID hit, I decided, what better time to start a real estate business? So I started my real estate business literally right when COVID hit, got into coaching, and haven't looked back since. So 2 years is the long and the short of that. 2.5 years roughly.
And how long have you been doing YouTube?
So I started YouTube in about April of this year. And I was in my coaching, I'm taught to do Facebook ads, and I got a little weary being a brand new agent, spending all that money on Facebook ads. Then a little birdie rang in my ear and told me about YouTube. And so I'm like, this is interesting. I'm going to explore YouTube a little bit. So I went ahead and got into YouTube with some people that actually knew what they were doing, and they helped me build my YouTube channel out. So I only have about 12 videos at most on my YouTube channel at the moment. I'll be honest, I've kind of stalled out a little bit because I've gotten so busy, but my new goals for December and moving forward is to do at least 2 videos per week. But we'll get into that later as well too. But since April.
Thank you so much. So one thing I see a lot of YouTube agents struggle with in the beginning is their niche, meaning what type of client is their ideal client that they want to work with. So how would you summarize your niche, and how has that influenced the types of videos that you make?
So I really wanted to focus in my community. I am very involved in my community, not just real estate related, but community related. And I thought, if I'm giving back this much to my community, I really want to focus my real estate business on my direct community. All my videos are specific to my immediate area. And my immediate area happens to be a very luxury market. And then from there, I developed my client avatar. And I found pictures of people that looked like people I would want to work with. And I made a bullet point of these, basically 4 different scenarios of avatars that I would want to work with. And I'll tell you what, the people that I work with fit in one of those 4 categories. So it really is worth spending the time developing your avatar and your niche.
That is so cool how one of the niches actually turned out to be your avatar. That doesn't always happen with me, but I've really found that fascinating. So let's talk some numbers here. One thing that I see agents struggle with, at least mentally, is how many views they have, how many subscribers they have. But here as YouTube agents, we're not here for subscribers, we're here for business. Have you ever had those thoughts? And what advice would you give to YouTube agents for their mindset?
So it is really easy to get caught up with comparing yourself to other people. And I'll give you an example where there is a guy in my area who dominates YouTube in my area, but not in my direct niche area. He dominates in the surrounding area. And I was very intimidated by him. I actually, instead of being intimidated, I decided I'm going to reach out to him and I'm going to see what he's doing and what's working for him. And I'm so glad I did, because what that taught me was he has a very different avatar and he has a very different audience than who I'm going to attract. And that's what really helped me like get over that hump of being fearful of YouTube and creating the right content. He actually tends to focus more on all of San Diego as a whole, with a little bit of a niche in his direct area, but he really focuses on San Diego as a whole. Whereas I focus on Pacific Highlands Ranch, and then my goal is to build out from there. So if you look at my channel versus his channel, mine is very niched down to my immediate areas, whereas his is San Diego as a whole. So I think that's what's helped rank me. And when you start getting people contacting you saying, hey, I watched every single one of your videos, I want to work with you, you start getting those affirmations. But it does take a little bit of mindset work before you get started, but it's totally worth it in the end.
Yes, it's totally worth it. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because, and let's get to the exciting part. Finally, after months of making these videos, you get your first YouTube client, and all that hard work has been worth it. Tell us, how did they contact you? Anything about your clients that isn't confidential, and how you came to go under contract first on a $6.85 million house.
So I picked up this client 6 weeks ago, and they came to me because they were wanting to look for a home in my niche area of Pacific Highlands Ranch. They were from the Bay Area. What I find is that a lot of the people that are reaching out to me are relocation. So I am getting more specialized in relocation because I'm born and raised in San Diego. So it makes sense that I can help people relocate here. So anyways, he contacted me looking to move to Pacific Highlands Ranch. Well, after meeting him and hearing what it was that he was actually looking for, I realized, I'm going to introduce you to some other areas. And so he gave me a budget of a much lower number than 6.8. And so I showed him what he can get for 5 million. And I found this other house in a totally different area that he never even considered, never even knew existed. And that's the beauty of YouTube, is like, it's not necessarily to sell them on that thing, because it's an opportunity to connect with people and then bring them in, and then you get to show them, right? And show them what you're capable of. So I basically introduced him to a new area, and I said, I know this is totally over the budget you provided, but I think it's worth a look based on what you said you're looking for. And lo and behold, he fell in love with the house. And so we kind of sat on it for a little bit, but it took a lot of negotiating and strategizing and all that. And finally, about a week ago, we went under contract on that one house that I showed him.
That's amazing.
So first, I did show him some other homes after that, but that is the very first house that I showed him. And that is the house he is buying.
And not only that, you got a $2 million home under contract later in the week from your sphere of influence. Can you tell me how, if any, your YouTube videos played a part in that?
Absolutely. So on that one, they actually are, the husband is a friend of my husband, and they just moved to the San Diego area. So I just met them, but I introduced them to my YouTube channel. They watched that all of my videos on YouTube. Again, it's focused on Pacific Highlands Ranch. I've been nurturing them for a while and introduced them to a new area. And so right on the heels of the $6.8 million, they came around and said, we're ready to buy, show us some houses. So I took them out, introduced them to a new area. And I think I gained their trust because of my YouTube channel. So even though they're in my sphere, they didn't exactly know me. They knew my husband. But I built that trust through my YouTube channel. So anyways, I introduced them to an area outside of my YouTube channel, and lo and behold, got them under contract 3 days after the $6.8 million contract. So completely unexpected, but it definitely just proves to me that YouTube definitely works, and it's evergreen. So it just lives there forever. And it's just definitely motivating to get more video content out there.
Your story is so inspiring. Thank you so much, Lynnette. And what are you waiting for? Go on over to Lynnette's channel, subscribe to her channel, watch all of her videos, and see exactly what videos she's making to get luxury clients as a new agent.
I'm linking her channel in the comments, description, and in this video. Because what she's doing to get clients, you can do too. Like this video and subscribe with the bell for more content that's going to help you make an impact and grow your real estate business. See you next time, friend.